Hi, my name's Anne, and I've been asked by Libby to do a little chat about books. And when she rang and asked me to do a little chat about books, she couldn't have picked a worse time for me because I hadn't been reading anything at all exciting, and I couldn't imagine myself getting around to even being mildly excited about reading. All the books I'd read had left me uninterested, but luckily, a couple of days ago, this book fell into my hands via my local bookshop, whom I'm buying books from every few weeks. And the book that got me excited about reading all over again is Anne Tyler's new book, The Redhead at the Side of the Road. I'm just falling into this book. The very first page, I knew that I was going to enjoy it and embrace it and feel the relief that there's some fabulous writing out there just around the corner, and we never know where it's going to be. The very first page, the words, the way she describes the main character, whose name is Micah, I knew I was going to like him, and I knew I was interested to know his story. And on reflection, thinking about talking to you today, Mike is in a similar situation to some of us at the moment. He's living on his own, and there's times where he's feeling fragile in the day, and I'm thinking, yeah, it's a little bit like what some of us are going through as well. And being forced to embrace that fragility, and perhaps being forced to embrace a new way of looking at things. So Anne Tyler, I'm halfway through, Redhead by the Side of the Road, and my little bookmark there I have to tell you about is a little mousy crochet bookmark, crocheted by my son and given to me as a little present. And oh, hang on, I'll put him around the right way. It's a little mouse, and he's my bookmark. He's my treasured bookmark, as you could imagine. So that's gotten me back into being excited about talking about reading and ideas. And it leads me to talk about something else that I'm reading, and that is a book about the volcanoes of Victoria. And the reason I'm reading about the volcanoes of Victoria is that I'm studying a subject called Earth's Surface Systems with the University of New England up in Armidale. And that's been such a wondrous subject to study. It's looking specifically at our Australian continent and looking at its ancientness and why our continent is built like it is, with lots of open, flat, endless dunes, not a lot of high mountains, and very little volcanic activity, except for some really ancient ones that have popped up around Victoria, as you might know, some of them out in the Western District. So I'm loving the subject, and I'm loving reading about it, little bits at a time, because some of it's a bit academic reading. So from there I'm going to go and talk to you about a little writers' festival that's coming up on the 8th of May, something I'd like you to know about. It's called the Yarra Valley Writers' Festival, and it's being held online, and it's going all day on that Saturday. And for a small subscription, I think it's $35, you can subscribe to all the events that are happening through the day. And one of the writers jumped out at me, one of the writers who's attending, or being interviewed from his lounge room, I'm assuming, who's attending the festival, is a man called Tom Griffiths. And it rang a bell, so I went and had a look amongst my messy bookshelves, which aren't in any particular order. I just chuck books in there as I read them. It's not very good, is it? But still, anyway, I found this book pretty quickly. Tom Griffiths' book that he put out about 4 years ago, The Art of Time Travel. And I'm more than excited now about subscribing to that Writers' Festival and hearing what he has to say. In this book, he covers a very important area of our historians and how they've approached talking about our history. Some of the names in this book that he writes about that you'll recognise, of course, are Geoffrey Blainey, Henry Reynolds, and Judith Wright. And he also covers a historian that I knew about called, where's her name here? Grace Karskens, and she writes some fabulous history about Sydney, early colonial history of Sydney, and the Rocks area of inner Sydney. She was a fabulous historian writer about that. So, Yarra Valley Writers Festival, 8th of May, coming up on the 8th of May, it's a Saturday. Tom Griffith's going to be one of the people interviewed from his lounge room. And the final thing I wanted to mention was something else, and a little slightly different tangent. A book came out last year that pretty much everybody loved. It's a novel. It's by Sally Rooney, and it's called Normal People. And it's just so much fun and so well written about the relationship between a guy and a girl and how it unfolds over their lifetimes and ups and downs and the characters that are surrounding them. It's a fabulous novel. Well, the reason I'm bringing this one up is that it's going to be a TV series on Stan, so you need to have Stan. You need to be subscribing to Stan. It's starting up as a TV series on Stan, and the first bit is going to be shown next Monday, the 27th of April. So that's something for us binge-watching people who've been exploring the experience of binge-watching for the first time. Something for us to look forward to. Sally Rooney's Normal People coming up. All right, well, that's a little bit from me, and I'm going to wish everybody who's looking here at the moment all the very, very best. And I'm really happy to have the chance to talk to you. Bye.